Every Christmas I like to make something as little presents for not my main family but for bits of the family who you wouldn't normally give a huge present to. And this year I have decided I'd like to make some soap. The problem with making soap, proper soap, and if you make it properly, is that you need to use caustic soda. You probably all know that caustic soda is very corrosive, so if you drop it on anything, it'll burn through anything. And if you drop it on your skin, it's quite dangerous. You have to wash it off very, very quickly. We have a 20-month-old grandson living in the house with us, and I do not want caustic soda in the house. So I did a bit of research and I found that you can make a soap in a very quick, slightly cheating way using semi-solid glycerin soap. Don't come too close, Mike, because it won't take it. So this is from the company called Aromantic, there, and it's glycerin soap, semi-solid, transparent. Sorry, let me read that again. Glycerin soap, solid, semi-transparent, and I bought the organic one. You can get a non-organic one, and it comes in a lump like that, and all you do is you melt it and you add whatever ingredients you want to it. So I'm going to chop it up like that. I'm going to chop it up again. That's because it's going to melt more quickly if I chop it up. Cut that bit in half. This amount is 1 kilo of this glycerin soap. If you want to, you can use it like that. It's excellent. It's not got any additives, so if you've got sensitive skin, you can just use it like that. On the cooker, I have made a bain-marie. So in the saucepan at the bottom, there's a little bit of boiling water, and at the top, I've got a metal bowl, which I'm going to bring over here now. Into this bowl, I'm going to put all these bits of soap. Put them back on the saucepan to melt. Make sure there's always plenty of water at the bottom of your saucepan, in your saucepan, so that it doesn't burn. To that, when it is melted, I'm going to add jojoba oil, and that is because jojoba oil is fantastic for older skin. It's very, very moisturising and healing for older skin. So I have measured into that jug 50 mils of jojoba oil because 1 kilo of soap can take 5% of any oil, which adds up to 50 mils. In here I've got some dried lavender flowers. I was so lucky this year because a friend of mine grows loads of lavender, and normally she does things with it, makes lavender cushions and things, but this year she said she wouldn't have time and would I like it? So I said, yes please, I would love it. And she told me to put it in a pillowcase and hang it up somewhere dry, which I've done. So that was picked in August, and it's been hanging up in our shed, which is very dry, since August, and I've now got it in. And what I've done with it, I've left it in the pillowcase and I've just rubbed it like that so that all the lavender flowers fall off. And I will show you what that looks like. So at the bottom there, you can see that I've got loads of beautiful lavender flowers. Now, I don't need too much in the soap because I am going to really use it as a decoration. And what I need to do is make it so that it will spread throughout the soap nicely. But this is very light and airy, so I'm going to just use a handful like that. Maybe a little tiny bit more, because that doesn't look like very much, does it? Yeah. And I don't mind the little bits of green leaf that are coming off there, because they'll look pretty in the soap. And I'm going to add the jojoba oil into that. And you can see that the lavender flowers are actually soaking that jojoba oil up, which is nice, so that when I add it to the soap, it'll mix throughout the soap nicely. If you put it in without putting the oil on it, what it'll do is float to the top because it's very light and airy. And then to that, because that won't be strong enough to scent the soap, the lavender flowers are beautiful and they have got a really fabulous smell, but it won't be strong enough on its own to scent the soap. So I'm going to add 100 drops of lavender pure essential oil. I'm sorry that this has been well used, so the label is not that good, but it is just lavender pure essential oil. I'm not going to make you stand and watch me add 100 drops, so I'll just start off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is all melted now, but you need to work quite quickly because you can already see that it's forming a skin and it'll harden up again very, very quickly. So normally I say when you are working with essential oils, wait till whatever you want to put it in has cooled down a bit, but we can't with this soap because it solidifies again fairly quickly. I've got a tea towel because this bowl is hot when I took it off the saucepan, and I'm going to just put everything that we mixed here, so that was the jojoba oil, the lavender flowers, and the lavender essential oil is in there, and I am just going to put that in. It's a kitchen spatula. Oh, the smell is heavy. I've taken the metal bowl off the saucepan. I've used a tea towel because obviously the metal bowl is hot. Over here I've got what I normally use to make loaves, breads and cakes. And these are 2 silicone inserts which go into loaf tins. They're nice and clean, they've been through the dishwasher and I've rinsed them out, so they're clean. Although they don't look beautiful, I know that those are absolutely perfectly clean. And all this melted soap, you can see it's already forming a scum on top. That should mix in okay. And I'm going to pour that amount of the soap into one of these. I hope you can see that okay. Now, the reason I've done it so deep is so that when it is set, I can cut it into blocks like that. But when it's set, I will show you how to do that. This has been standing now for about 24 hours, mostly because I haven't had the time to do anything with it. I showed you it was in a loaf tin with my silicone liner in it. These silicone liners are fabulous because you can just peel the whole lot off, and there is your big bar of soap. I did one earlier and I've cut it up like that. Put that back in there, and I quite like that, so I'm going to do the same. This is very, very soft. Well, it's not very, very soft, but it's soft-ish. I'm going to cut all the little bits off. The corners are slopey, so because it's been in the loaf tin, so I'm just going to cut the ends off, which I can use for myself. Very sharp knife, keep your fingers out the way please, and just press down from on top. So I've just cut the ends, both ends off to make it straight. There we go. This one's come out a slightly different colour to that one. It must have had more of something in it, I don't know what. And then I just mark the top as to how big I want it. These are only little gifts that I'm making, so don't need to go over the top. They're just token gifts really. And that size of bar of soap is fine. You can see the lavender flowers have all settled on the top. Some are through it. I really don't know what the answer is to get them all to distribute right throughout the soap, but there'll be some in there. So I'm going to just mark the top evenly, like that. Just score it so that you know what you want to do. It doesn't matter if there's a little bit left at the end because, as I say, you can always use that up yourself. And this one is going to have a little bit left at the end, so there we go. Score it, and then because this is so soft, or soft-ish, again, sharp knife, keep your hands out the way, and just press down on it. You can see that I'm using a cutting board underneath. There we go. And if you are not strong enough to do that, then get somebody who is strong enough to do that for you. So there's our bar of soap. Actually, I think this has come out a better colour than the other ones. The other ones are fairly dark. You can get colourings to put in soap, but as I want this to be as natural as possible, I don't really want to add any added chemicals in there, so I've left it. But if you, as it's a lavender soap, if you wanted it a lavender colour, you can online buy soap colourings. There you go. So I won't show you how to do that anymore, but I just want to show you what I've done with it. So that is quite a nice bar of soap. It'll also last quite long because they're glycerin soap. So as long as they're not left in water, they will last quite long. So keep them out of water. And all I've done with that, I bought a load of ribbon and I've tied ribbon around it. And I've written a label saying jojoba and lavender soap, handmade with love by Linda. And I think those make really nice little gifts. It's kind of for friends and acquaintances and in-laws and people like that. So I think that's a brilliant little present. Just to let you know, if you pick up a bar of that soap and smell it, it smells very slightly lavendery. And you might think, that's not worked very well, but it's because the essential oil and the lavender flowers are trapped inside the soap, so they're not giving off their perfume at the moment. However, if you take a bit, I'll use one of these spare bits, and wash your hands, you can see it lathers up quite nicely. Lathers up quite nicely, but you don't want too much lather because the lather actually is an additive that they put in there. So that's natural soap lather. If you, if you smell that, that's really beautiful. It's soapy and lavendery and all earthy and natural. Wow, lovely.